Hello.
Hey.
How are you? My service okay?
Oh, well,
Hi.
in here and there.
Okay. Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Why does this always happen when I need to do a Zoom call? Every time. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law, right? Sandwich always lands face down. My daughter made the best creation yesterday. She took brownies and she made a layer of brownies and then she put a layer of cookie on it. She calls it a brookie. I've never heard of it before, but it's fantastic.
That's incredible.
It's so good.
She's bound for the cooking shows.
Yeah. She's ready to go.
I'll trade that for my zoodle salad.
Yeah, not quite a zoodle salad.
What's that?
I said it's not quite a zoodle salad. It's 100% the opposite.
Yes.
And I give everybody a couple minutes to hop on.
I love that she's so willing to try different things. You know, what made her even think of that?
Well, I think they have like a regular version of these brookies, as she calls them, like the just brownie with a cookie layer. And Jalen had it, and so she asked me to make it for her. So it's cool.
So is that a chocolate chip cookie dough she put on top of that?
Oh yeah, it's just the Pillsbury gluten-free mix, the gluten-free brownie and then gluten-free cookie on top. I should have put peppermint in it.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how many people to expect to show up today. Jen said that she's out driving. I don't know where she's driving or anything, but convention starts like, I'm so excited about it.
Is that tonight?
It officially starts tomorrow. Today's like, they're doing a bunch of recognition stuff today about people who made ranks and stuff like that. There's usually like a gala dinner on Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the Facebook groups, I'm seeing a lot of like, hey, congratulations to all the senior stars and executives, everybody who ranked and those kind of things. So tomorrow they release I don't know the schedule at all. I'm totally 100% trusting Jen for the schedule.
Have they put anything out, any kind of info? I see her posts every once in a while of, oh, get ready, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think that Jen is in really close contact with our diamonds that are above us, you know, and the diamonds get information usually a day or two before the general public. So I think she gets information so that she can let us all know.
Gotcha. Okay.
I know nothing. So who has a garden?
Oh, I do.
Yeah? Cynthia, don't you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys growing right now?
That's my zoodle salad.
That's your zoodle. Did you see? I just posted the zucchini I just pulled from my garden. That sucker was as big as a worm. It was huge.
Yeah. Perfect for zoodles.
Now, if I could just get my kids to eat them.
Oh. I always did cookies because that's the way I always ate it.
Like you grating the zucchini and putting it into cookies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you will.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Who do we have?
You're back.
Turns out my internet is so bad that it actually kicked me off. Figured out. I'm gonna run and get my stuff from my room where I was all set up, and then we will just jump in and get started.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip that over.
Susan, I wanted to ask you about your medallion behind you. I just love that. Is there a story behind that?
This one? Uh-oh. Oh. Can't hear anybody.
All right. Oh. Oh, now it's too dark, huh? Okay. Settled in. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Completely not ready for this. So I'm really excited about doing this class with you guys today because I just discovered gardening this year. I really have not been super into gardening before this. I actually used to have a black thumb. I would literally kill every plant. Succulents, I don't even know how many succulents I killed, like all of them. And then this year we've also gotten outside and gotten up hiking and doing more camping than we've done in previous years. So I'm really excited to share with you kind of the things and lessons that we've been learning as we've done this over gardening for this year and the hiking and camping for the past 6 or 7 years that we've done it with oils. Well, I take that back, 4 years with oils. Camping before oils too, but I'm gonna share my screen with you if it will. I'm hoping it all works for me and that whoever comes in and needs to be in, will just be able to hop in. Jen said that she made it so I didn't have to accept them into the group, into the thing. I need to start the slideshow. Okay. So, I know that all of you guys already have your kits and you have, hi Tamara. You guys are all ready to go. So hopefully this will be a little bit more in depth for you than just the regular kit information. I'm trying to figure out how to get this like thumbnail where it belongs, maybe a small thing. Okay, if you guys see a question or something, please just shout out and let me know. Give me a hand wave or something so that I can see it, but type questions in the chat. And there's so much information. I kept adding things and adding things and adding things to this PowerPoint. So hopefully you get something out of it and it's a little helpful and I don't go long-winded because I tend to. So we actually just got to go up to Bernie Falls this last weekend. It was absolutely stunning. I hope that you have the chance to visit up there one of these times. This is at Bernie Falls in Northern California. There's also McCloud Falls and those kind of things. So we typically do shorter hikes, a mile. We've done 7 or 8 miles too with the kids. It's always a trial and error, and you get back to the car and you're like, well, probably shouldn't have done that one, that kind of a thing. So to start, we use Young Living. My family, we can trust Young Living because of the seed to seal standard that Young Living has, knowing that they pick the best seeds from the most potent crop from the previous year, and they plant those in the fields which are hand weeded or sheep are weeding. There's no harmful chemicals or fertilizers used. It's absolutely amazing, and totally one of the things that I'm missing this year by not being at convention and not being able to walk through those beautiful lavender fields, not talking. I mean, you go to convention and you can talk to the farmers that are there. It's amazing the information they have. They're so passionate about their work and making sure that we receive the highest quality product. It's just mind-blowing to be part of a company that has so much heart behind it. So our essential oils can be used aromatically, topically, or internally. You can use them all three or just one of the ways, whatever you feel like. Aromatically is obviously in the diffuser or smelling it out of the bottle. Topically would be putting it on your skin. And then internally, I would only suggest using Young Living, obviously, because of knowing their purity standards. But internally, you can ingest the vitality oils and be confident that they're going to have a great effect on your body and work in synergy with your body and your cells. Some safety things to talk about first, especially because we're talking about gardening, camping, and hiking, all things outdoors, is that citrus oils are photosensitive. So your lemon, orange, lime, and bergamot is one that's often overlooked. Bergamot is a citrus, and so those are all photosensitive. So if you're going to apply those before or during any of your activities, just make sure that you're applying it somewhere that is covered by fabric, or if you have you can put it on the back of your neck if you're going to keep your hair down, or if you have a really good hat. Otherwise, you put it on the bottom of your feet if you want to be safe rather than sorry with photosensitive oils. Also, if you are going to drink any of your oils, lemon and orange, peppermint, they're delicious to have while you're out and about doing anything that's kind of warm activities. But you need to be using a stainless steel or a glass container for those oils, specifically the citrus oils. They're so potent that they do break down plastic, and you don't want to be drinking those plastic particles. Silicone straws are okay. Silicone is okay. It's actually a sand-based product, silicone. It's not chemical-based. So it doesn't break, and it doesn't break down the same as regular plastic. So if you wanted to go with a silicone straw, that's okay. Just be aware that you're using the right thing with the oils. And I always say start low and slow. So always dilute oils with using a carrier oil, which is a fatty oil, coconut, olive oil, jojoba, or almond oil. The little ratios, how many drops of carrier oil to essential oil is on the label on the back of the bottle. And always start low and slow. So if you feel any spicy sensation on your skin that you're not comfortable with, just add more carrier oil, totally fine. If you get it in your eye, put coconut oil on a rag and hold it on your eye, and it will draw that essential oil out. Which is one reason why I carry a old 15 milliliter bottle with coconut oil. Whenever we go hiking or camping, I have one that just has coconut oil in it, just in case we get something in our eye and we're out and about, can't really wash it out. And then the reason why we're talking about using the essential oils and natural things, more natural products while we're outdoors and gardening is, one, because if we're gardening, we're ingesting whatever we're putting on the plants. The plants are absorbing the nutrients from the ground, all those things. And so that's why it goes all the way back to seed to seal, and why it's so important to know what's going in the ground and what's being used on the plants. And then when we are out camping and hiking, things that we put on our body, if we get in the river or we wash our dishes at the side of the campsite, that stuff all gets soaked into the soil and can affect the ecosystem too. And so it's beneficial to us, to the world, to Earth, to make sure that we're doing our best to leave the smallest footprint in using natural products. So I'm going to talk specifically about the hiking and camping and gardening, and you can find a zillion other uses on the Oil Truth, and I hope you're in there. This is convention last year. It was so much fun. We are actually outside the lavender fields here in Mona, Utah. At the end of the day, we were all exhausted from the sun, but it was absolutely stunning. I hope that you guys can join us there next year when we go. It's going to be, I think next year will be a really big convention because of all that's happened this year. So gardening, I think one of our biggest foes in gardening is bugs. So we want to get rid of the bugs. So the good thing to know is that the bug spray that we put on our skin for essential oils, things like cedarwood, rosemary, citronella, purification. These oils are all good for our skin while we're out and about. The bugs don't like them, but they're also good for our plants, and the bugs don't like them either. I have a page, my next slide, you guys can screenshot it if you want. I have some recipes and stuff on it of everything that I'll be talking about. So I have been spraying my garden with my bug spray. I've just been spraying it. I have a couple spots where I think I didn't get down far enough. So I've got a little bit of leaves that have been eaten, but really the plants are doing really well. So I just took my regular bug spray that we made. I don't know, Mom, it was at one of the DIY classes that we made, and I just started spraying the plants because I don't want to put any fertilizers on it. So citronella, purification, thieves, and peppermint, I think, was the one in that. So there's a zillion different recipes to keep bugs away. And so you just you can use what you have, and I'm sure they're gonna work amazing. Companion planting is when you take one plant that really thrives off certain nutrients in the ground, and then you add another plant that thrives on different nutrients, and they work together in companion planting. So that would be like tomatoes and basil. They grow really well together. Well, if you don't want to grow basil, you could spray basil on your tomato plant or near the soil to help spur on greater growth with your tomatoes. I think that's something pretty cool. I don't have anything, like I said, this is my first year with gardening, so I don't have anything to judge that against, to say like I didn't do it last year, but it kind of makes sense to me that you could use companion oils. Inside and outside, I often use my Thieves Cleaner spray. So I have a spray bottle. You're not even, it's so trashed right now. It says plant H2O, and I just put it's highly diluted, so it's like half a capful of Thieves Cleaner and water, and I spray my plants constantly. I think this is another form of keeping the bugs away. I think this helps with the little gnats and those kind of things. I spray my indoor and my outdoor plants with this, and honestly, they've never looked better. Like I said, everything before trying to use oils with it, I would kill. So I think it's working pretty well. Everything else died, so it's going well. Another pointer is critters. So we want to make sure that we keep all the cats and the dogs and maybe deer and things out of our gardens. And so this is a pretty neat idea. And actually, Cindy and Mom, I'd like to hear from you two. I would love to know if you guys put a cloth strip up soaked in rosemary and black pepper, and if it keeps the deer away. I really would like you guys to try that experiment and see if it helps with the deer. I think that'd be cool.
I've already had, Amelia, one critter come and eat all my peas. So I'm so anxious to try that, because that's one of my biggest struggle is if it's not the deer, it's the gophers or the squirrels or the birds. I don't know. So I'm definitely, my garden's going to have strips hanging all around it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm super curious. Yeah, I didn't even think about the gophers, but that's a great idea. This specifically, black pepper and rosemary, is good for cats and dogs specifically, but I imagine that it should help with other critters too. So that's why I'm like, I want to know how it works with the deer and the gophers and stuff. Keep us posted on Oil Truth, Mom. Also, just a natural, this is not Young Living related, but having a birdhouse in your garden, I hope you have one somewhere nearby and around, because the birds eat the bugs. And so that is super helpful. They eat the caterpillars. So we happen to make a little birdhouse. There's a little birdhouse kit, and we made it, and it's hanging in our garden, and definitely helpful on the day-to-day. And you don't have to monitor it, really. Then I don't think everybody is from the Sacramento area, so you'll have to check on your kind of in your area and where you're at. But there are some awesome Facebook groups about with some gardening tips, and some things that I've learned is pruning, how to prune back zucchini, and that's been awesome. Our zucchini is really thriving. I have learned about the flowers on top of the tomatoes when they start to bloom. If you flick them, you flick the flowers back and forth, it allows them to pollinate without having to have bees and pollinators come into your garden, which, you know, it's good if they're there, but if you need more fruiting, it can yield up to 3 times more fruit. So I thought those were 2 really useful things that I got from that group, and I'm learning all sorts of other things from there too. So this is the page you'll want to screenshot right here. Can you see it? I have on there, I wrote a little note. These were all pre-done graphics for me, but the bug spray, so that has your rosemary, your citronella. You can also add purification, tea tree, kunzea, cedarwood, eucalyptus, all those things, all of those oils, bugs hate. So if you use any of those combination of oils, you're gonna be doing good. It's about 60 drops of oil in a 4-ounce spray bottle. And you can do any combination that you have right there. So hopefully that gives you some different options and things to use. This also has the Pet Be Gone, the strips of fabric, and black pepper and rosemary. It's got a little list of our companion plants that I mentioned on there. And then the other key factor in making sure that our plants are fruiting is pollinators. So I mentioned with the tomatoes, you can flick the flower blossoms because the male and female blossoms are right next to each other, and the pollen is sort of magnetic. When it flicks off, it'll go right to the correct flower. But bees are really important. So this is great to spray if you're having trouble with pollination, not getting a lot of fruiting, and you think your soil is good to go, then spraying some of this pollinator spray near and around your other flowers, your zucchini flowers or whatever flowers, you know, is flowering, vegetables flowering. Did you guys all get that? The screenshot? Okay, thumbs up. Okay, so I'm going to, any questions about gardening quite yet? A lot of this is going to cross over as we keep going. I should check, can I check the chat? I don't know how to check the chat while I'm in the PowerPoint, I'm sorry. Okay, so hiking. So we try to go hiking, you know, once or twice a month as a family, and so we don't do anything too intensive. We're not into backpacking yet and doing all of that. One day maybe that would be really cool. But some extra things that come along with hiking. So you can use the bug spray that you made for gardening when you go out hiking. You can 100% take it with you, spray it on your ankles, spray it at the base of your neck, even in your hair to avoid bugs that might fall out of the trees. But kunzea is a huge one for hiking, especially if you're in tick areas. The kunzea tree is actually known as the tick tree. It's a animals in, I think it's farmed from Australia. The animals actually hide under the kunzea tree, and the ticks will fall off of them. It's pretty amazing how God's creation works. So kunzea is a great one to add. You can just drop it right into your hiking shoes. Whatever shoes you're wearing, right around the base of your ankle is a great place to put it. If you're wearing a hat, you can drop it just on top of your hat, those kind of things. You can also put it on our dog. We use the, last year, I happened to get some of the insect repellent while I was in Utah. It doesn't deliver to California, unfortunately, because of flammability, but I put the Young Living insect repellent right on our dog's collar. I just put like a strip of it on there, and she's been doing really good. There was one time I forgot for like 6 months. I didn't put anything on her, and she did get a tick after a pretty thick, heavy bushed hike that we went on, but she does really good with that for our pets. And kunzea you could put right on the collar, your dog's collar too. Hydration, so obviously when you're hiking, you need to stay hydrated. I love to put some of the Vitality drops in our water bottles before we leave. I just put a quick little squirt in all of them, and then it makes it tasty. It's very refreshing as you're hiking, and it gives you those electrolytes that you really need. Sunscreen. So typically if we're hiking, I just bring the mineral sunscreen, just because it's plastic, it's flexible. I don't have to worry about it breaking while we're on the trail or something. And then we put it, you can apply it to your face and all the things. It's kind of tough to rub in, so you can add another lotion to it if you need. I did just get the spray bottle. Jen had posted this earlier this week. And so I put half of a bottle of Lavaderm in here, and then most of the sunscreen, and I think some lavender and peppermint in here. And so I used it actually when we were at the pool this weekend, and it was great. But this squirter is gonna get sunscreen all over my backpack. So I'm sticking with the mineral sunscreen when I go hiking, which once again, these are good things to have when you're gardening too. So there's a lot of crossover here on things. I also keep with us when we go hiking, Deep Relief or peppermint. I love to keep those with me when we go hiking because you roll them on the back of your neck and it's so cooling. The breeze comes through and your whole body will just cool down a notch. We live in an area where it's constantly over 90 degrees. We're constantly hiking in area along dry trails until we get to some water or something. So that's been a helpful hack for us, for sure. Another hack is the lavender lip balm. You must take lavender lip balm with you. It's only $4. It's the best lip balm ever. But you should really take it with you anytime you go hiking. One, chapped lips and the wind, but also if there's any scratches or chafing, those kind of things, just scrape a little bit of the lavender lip balm off and rub it onto whatever area of your skin is getting chafed. It's got the beeswax in it, and it's soothing with the lavender and calming, and it helps heal. So I highly recommend keeping the lavender lip balm at any point during the summer. I put some on my kids' cheeks the other day because they were just wind blown and dry. So it's something I use all the time. Obviously, I don't have that here, but Ningxia Red is also something. We take the little packets with us hiking. We take them with us camping too, but they're really good frozen though. So Ningxia packets frozen when you take them on the hike. They're really delicious, very refreshing when you get to the end of the hike, if you can keep them frozen the whole time. If not, they just kept your backpack cool. But they're good. They're good when they're done. When I'm hiking, along with the Deep Relief and the peppermint is, I tend to, because our hiking backpack can get a little heavy. We have towels, sometimes we have a change of shoes, and we have snacks and these things. So I tend to just bring my roll-on oils when I go hiking. I have a little bag that has all of our roll-on oils. So it's just easy to apply. I don't have to worry about dilution and those kind of things. So that's I was gonna show you guys this trick. This is the best thing ever. Mom, you know this trick. Hold on one second. Okay, this is not Young Living related either, but it's a total hiking, camping, handy trick, okay? So you go hiking and your kid eats half of the chips in the bag and you want to save the rest, right? So you take the bag. This is a really big bag. You're not carrying this whole thing when you're camping or hiking. So you fold a corner in a triangle, all right? You see it's a triangle there? You overlap the triangle here. Okay, you see how they're overlapped right here? I'm gonna flip it around and you're gonna roll it backwards. You see how the triangle came back over now? Unfold one corner, unfold the other corner. Look. Okay. Super silly. Like I said, I'm like thrilled by that. I do it all the time, and it's the best way to keep your chips in the bag when you're out hiking, because otherwise they just explode everywhere. Okay, so it's triangle, triangle, roll it backwards, tuck, tuck, okay? Text me.
Honestly, Amelia, every bag in my cupboard that I can do that with is now done that way, because I'm tired of trying to find the clips, and the clips pop off and you just need nothing, no rubber bands or anything. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Ziploc bags break and all the things, so you can tuck, and it seals it really well, really well. So that was my fun tip for that, I guess. And then once again, there's hiking groups. There's hiking Facebook groups. So I suggest you get involved in those. There's also, I have found a million hiking spots that I have saved now on my All Trails app, which, by the way, you should get if you're interested in hiking. Is the All Trails app. It's a free app. You can pay to upgrade it. Not necessary unless you go, unless you start getting into the deeper hiking. But check out for your area if you're interested in hiking for a Facebook group, because it's so fun to connect with people that way. And then you can share some of these cool things about Kunzia and the tick tree, like, you know, those kind of things. They need to hear those too. Okay, camping, how are we doing? I'm about 30 minutes in and I still feel like I'm just talking nonstop. Are you guys good? You're following along? Okay, all right. Okay, so camping, this was the hardest one for me to really narrow down, because I feel like with camping, I just kind of do all the things. And so I was like, oh wait, there's this idea. Oh wait, we do this. Oh, we do this. And so hopefully this just gives you some starting points. If you have any questions later, just message me on Oil Truth or whatever, and I'll totally help you out. So citronella. So this last camping trip, we went, like I said, we went to Bernie Falls area, and we didn't bring any bug candles or anything like that. I actually took a bottle of citronella. I have one that stays in my camping kitchen all the time, all year round. It's just in a bottle of citronella. And I dropped it on the side, on the cement of the table. These were cement tables rather than wood. You could do either one. And just dropped it along the side of our tablecloth. No bugs. They didn't bother us at all. Literally had bees flying around us minutes before I dropped it and set our food out. Dropped the citronella on both sides of the table and left the open bottle in the middle. Worked wonderful, wonderful. With a 4-year-old, 2 8-year-olds, and a 10-year-old, they weren't sitting there flinging their food around because of the flies and the bugs. So it was really good. So I love that one. And then of course I would suggest to take Thieves dish soap with you when you go camping, because it is way, way, way more gentle on the environment than the little Dawn blue dish soap. It's not going to do the same things to the ground nor to your hands. I dilute my Thieves dish soap into 3 bottles. So I get one of the bottles for, I think it's $13. And I take a third of that and I put it into a different bottle, add about a tablespoon of baking soda, and then I fill it up with warm water. And now I have 3 bottles of dish soap. So that works great. Okay, this one might sound terrible, but if your kids don't sleep while you're camping, everybody's miserable. So take InnuPro with you, cut it in half and give it to the kids. It helps their immune system, totally builds their immune system, helps their brains shut off while you're out camping. Sometimes we camp in bear land, and so I have never heard of anything with essential oils and bears and tents, but I'm a little more hesitant to use essential oils, like just throw them as much as I would at night at home on my kids. So this one, they're digesting it. And so I feel really, a bear's not gonna smell InnuPro digested. So that one is a winner. I guarantee you will all sleep better with half of an InnuPro in your system while you're camping, because it can get miserable if you don't sleep. Also, seedlings wipes. We constantly camp in dry camping areas, so we have to bring in our water, vault toilets, and no showers. And so I love to bring the seedlings wipes. I've used other wipes in the past. I've used just Huggies natural wipes. You wipe your face with that and it stings. You wipe your face with a Huggy. I feel like it stings my skin when I wipe my face with a regular wipe, but wiping my face with a seedlings wipe, and it feels amazing. It's like the lavender, first of all, that you smell is so calming, but it doesn't bother your skin at all. So I've made sure to bring seedlings wipes on the last few camping trips. And then an owie roller. So in the next slide, I think it's the next slide, I have some owie recipes for you. There's the KidSense owie oil. We just pop a roller on there. and just roll it on for anything. This, I have one that pretty much stays in my camping bin also because somebody's going to get a cut, a scratch, a bite, or whatever. And I also take the bite stick. So basil, peppermint, lavender, and purification are all great ones for if you get bit or stung or have an owie, those kind of things. So we have that in a roller in our camping bin also. And then of course the starter kit oils are something that I do take with me every time we get on the road for camping. I have the cutest little bag, which I might rope my mom into helping us all make little 12 oil bags. But Digize we use constantly because who doesn't eat too many s'mores while you're out camping? I mean, come on, they're delicious, especially add a Reese's cup to that, and it's like amazing. Dark chocolate this last time, really good. Peppermint is, like I said, it's for the cooling. Peppermint and Digize together, Josiah, my son, he used to get super car sick, like throw up every time we'd go to visit my parents, and he has yet to throw up since applying peppermint and Digize in his little roller bottle. Of course, lavender when we're getting worked up, or when we need just that that moment to figure out where will the tent go. You know, you can just drop a lavender in your hand and reassess the situation. Peace and calming, stress away, same things. Those definitely help with sleep while you're out and about in a new place. Gosh, what else is in there? Valor. Oh, can I tell you a thing about Valor real quick? What is the timing on this? Let's see. I think I'm running close on time. Okay, so Valor, I had a friend's kid who was absolutely just pitching a fit while camping, just did not want to do what everybody else wanted to do, threw a fit. And we went ahead, sent him to the bed to take a seat for a little bit. And then later I took him the bottle of Valor and I said, why don't you just take a sniff of this? Which I think it was Valor or Peace and Calming. He chose Valor. And within 10 minutes, he had completely calmed himself down and was ready to rejoin the group. And now Valor is his go-to oil for when he's feeling overwhelmed with emotion. It's pretty amazing how oils can affect and calm our emotions. And there's such a powerful tool. So another group is the Northern California Camping Facebook group. I am sure there's one for every area, but I highly suggest getting in this one. And here is the kind of the owie bug bite blends all in one for you if you want to screenshot this. No, sorry. You guys got that? So Deep Relief, owie, these are all ones that we take with us. We have these in the roller bottles, pre-made usually. Yeah. All right, so how do I get out of this now? Nope. So Essential Rewards is definitely the way to order because I listed so many products for you. It's really hard to keep up on with all of those. And I wouldn't suggest replacing all of them at once. It's 100% why I recommend Essential Rewards and just budgeting for yourself the $50 a month to replace 1 or 2 items. And then you're just getting on the way. You're slowly building your way to a toxin-free household and to a more natural experience when you're on the road and things. So I highly suggest Essential Rewards. If you have not been introduced to it, then please message whoever invited you to this Zoom, and they'll help you understand what that is. And also with your kit, if you don't have a premium starter kit yet, or an account with Young Living, then message whoever invited you to this Zoom and we'll get you plugged in. We definitely want you to be plugged in. We have such an awesome resource with the Oil Truth and with Honest Oilers and Oil Geeks. We have so many resources for you to really dive in and get the best use and start replacing items in your home one by one. So yeah. Thanks for being with me. Is there any questions that I can answer for you guys? Anything I skipped over? I went really fast and it was a lot of information.
have a question. So if I'm going to use an essential oil with my plants, how many drops would you say to put in a bottle or a spray bottle?
Yeah, so I would still use the 4-ounce spray bottle. This is what I did, what I've used recently was that I had a 4-ounce spray bottle and I had a total of 60 drops of essential oil, but it was a combination of that rosemary, citronella, thieves, and peppermint.
Okay.
So I kind of averaged it out. I think about 15-ish drops each.
So the thieves cleaner is probably like the cheaper route, like to add that in.
Yeah, yeah, because it's so, yeah, it is. You're using like half of a capful, and it's really helping your. It's got all that in it. It has thieves, eucalyptus, rosemary, lemon. There's one more, clove. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But you could still add an additional oil into the thieves if you felt like you wanted something specific, right?
Yep, absolutely. Like if you are going to be spraying your tomato plants, I probably would add basil to it, just knowing that basil is a companion plant. Yeah.
Anything specific for aphids, or just using what you just mentioned would be effective against that as well?
I haven't experienced getting rid of them or anything. Just every time we find a ladybug, we go and we put it in with the tomatoes. Tomatoes. And I haven't had them in the garden, so I'm assuming that using the thieves spray as I've been doing this year is working against it.
I saw a testimony of using the thieves spray with Brussels sprout stock that was like horrible aphids, and they did like a couple week progression, and after like 2 or 3 weeks it was like a whole new plant. She was just really consistent, just like her normal, what she would use in her thieves cleaner, and sprayed her plant and it got rid of the aphids.
Wow.
It's on Science of Essentials. It's an Instagram account.
Essentials, another resource.
Yep.
There's so many. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Yep.
Awesome, thanks.
All right. Okay, well, I am going to do my best to make we'll save the recording and we'll post it in Oil Truth. But I will also do my best to make like a short note, like, well, I don't know how easy that'll be. This was a lot of information. Yeah. So I'll post it in Oil Truth, and then if you have any other questions, you can message on there, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Amelia. Great information.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on here today.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.